Hey, everybody, it's Cheryl, and welcome to Muppin Sewing Emporium. Today is Friday, and my friends, welcome to our wonderful little show. I am live to you through the power of the internet. Woo, I'm just making sure we are making sure that our sound is always working because it's always the little tech gremlins that get me. My friends, how are you doing tonight? It is a beautiful Friday night here in gorgeous downtown Paducah, Kentucky. It is it's 82 degrees. I would say it's sunny, but the sun is going down. um and we're having tonight in downtown Paducah is Fridays after 5. And that's been happening, and it started at 5 o'clock and is continuing on. If you're in near downtown Paducah, come on down, because we've got a lot going on. My friends, thank you all so much for all of your love on last week's video about the pincushion dolls. Can I just say, that was a lot of fun showing you my collection, and it was it was actually really cool for me to get my whole collection it's not my whole collection, it's just part of my collection. To get my collection together, to get it put together in one spot. I don't know if I explained at all, but I am in the process of finally setting up the majority of my sewing studio. After 4 years here, I'm going to finally have a sewing studio where I can sew again. And I am so happy about that. You have no idea. I have been sewing in a space that's basically, I have about this much desk space to sew, uh where I sew currently. And I have sewn everything for the last 4 years in a space that's about 36 inches wide. And it has like zero depth. It's just like the width of the sewing machine, and that's it. And I while I love where I am sewing, because I can see my front door, and when I uh do some of my work, I can see the door and the customers coming in, which I love doing that. But it's not the same as having like my fabric and my stuff. And I'm a stuff person. I'm a trinket girl. I don't know if you're a trinket person, but I'm a trinket person. And as you can see, I kind of like to have my trinkets around me. So it will be really, really nice to have my studio. And it's on the second floor, and I'm very excited. So that's what's happening. Other things that are happening is that Mr. Max, our kid, is back in town. He is visiting for the summer, and can I just say, um this kid has gotten pretty tall. I remember when we first did these videos, these live videos together, he was like this tall to me, and now he towers over me, and it's absolutely it's hilarious. And I'm very excited that he's here in town. He will be in the store tomorrow. So if you're coming to visit us tomorrow, gosh, he'll be able to see him in the store. Um, we have some new things, and I would love to show them to you. Because we've been bringing in new stuff. Now, I do have one bit of housekeeping And that is for those of you who are waiting for Corey Dantini's More Than Bones collection. It is still coming. It is not here yet. Our order got caught in a warehouse move that is happening by Free Spirit. So Free Spirit is moving their warehouse from one warehouse to another, and in that move went our order. And we now have to wait until the move is completed to get our order. So you're probably seeing that the More Than Bones collection is out at some other shops, and that is true. Our order is still coming. So please just bear with us. I do pepper my sales rep and my customer service rep every week asking for an update. Um, I am just as excited to get this collection in as you are. So please bear with me as we continue to wait for that collection to arrive. In the meantime, the Halloween collections, we have one more, that last one waiting to come in, but Christmas collections are already arriving. So that's fun. So, my friends, let's get a look at what some of these collections that we have just received. We actually received quite a few of these just today. So, um, I'm excited to show you this. Okay, so the first collection I want to show you, these are all from Ink and Arrow, which is a company that um, has been around for almost 200 years. They've been around a really, really long time. And they are otherwise known in the industry as QT Fabrics, but their indie brand is called Ink and Arrow. And what I love about these collections is that they're kind of small, tight collections. So you're going to see uh these come in, and they are um all fat quarters, and they are on 100% 100% organic cotton. So I kind of dig that these collections. So these literally showed up today, and I'm very excited to show you this one. Okay, so this one here is a 12 fat quarter collection. It is called Sarah's Garden, and this is going to be in the bundles section of the website. So if you are looking for these, that's where you're going to want to look. And so here we go. Okay, so we've got this. These are, I would say, there's a lot of florals, but they're not all florals, right? So this is the thing about collections is that it says Sarah's Garden, okay? And can I just say, pricing here at QT is very, very good. So, we've got this white background floral, very sweet. We've got a blue with I love how this green pops. Okay, this is a great, great fabric. And then you have this in a different colorway, in the white background with the green. Here is blue and green, same fabric, different colorways. Look at this one. Okay, how fun is that? You've got it also in a berry color. I feel like I've seen this fabric for years now. And is in fact, I am absolutely certain a very similar fabric to this is in my Baltimore album quilt. But if you're going to do a garden collection, you got to have some branches. And then you have a couple just blenders, not really florals, right? And so you kind of have to have those things to let your eye rest, okay? Because if you go too much with the heavy floral, okay, you've got some branches and you've got some flowers and you've got these sort of, I don't know if they would be considered fruits or what you've got, but you've got then, these which give your eye a place to rest without so much um of the flowers. Okay, so this collection, great little collection, 12 pieces, $39 right now in stock on our website. So these little bundles do not last very long. These QT bundles, they have great curation, they have great color diversity. Um, you can add a white to this, you can add a gray to this, you can add like a background fabric and just be, you could even add this sort of limey green, and that would be a beautiful background for a quilt for this. So Sarah's Garden, one of the first ones that have arrived in this collection, so I'm very, very excited. um and then there is this one here, which is another ink and arrow. You'll get a nice close up here of my hands while I undo. I did loosen all of these earlier today so that I wouldn't be on the struggle bus with this on camera. But, here we are, and this is what we're doing. So, all right. And then I every once in a while got to recalibrate this because color wise, so much of my own skin tone like washes it out, and so you have to get the camera to have some distance so it can show you the colors in real time. So let's get this. You know what, I'm just gonna slide this off. I'm sitting here arguing with it, so to speak. Now this collection here is called Flora, 16 pieces, $52. And this collection, as you can see, lots and lots of different um, colors in here. I like a colorful stack, not gonna lie. I think colors, that's what we're here for, right? Is the color. And this has got some great diversity in just variety in here, but also I will tell you, we have this collection here in fat quarters, 5-inch charms, and 2.5-inch charms. So this collection we have in quite a variety of ways. So the first two are going to be these that are the same fabric, two different colorways. And you've got like this sort of greenish teal, and then you have more of the bluish teal, so it's kind of got a little bit of both going on. Can we just talk really quickly about the line work on here? It's really nice. And so these are your first two. Next up, you've got birds in two different colorways, again kind of matching here. You've got the two different sides to this collection. And then you go into these sort of swirls, which, typically I'm not a swirl girl. But what this helps you with is picking the colors that will go with these palettes. And again, in general, what we find in a floral collection is that there's too many flowers. And this gives you something that isn't flowers, just like these birds do. So it's very cool, very excited about that. And then we have 4 different pineapples. And where's my friend Amy? Because she runs a company called the Purple Pineapple Studio. And I feel like she needs this. Um, so 4 different pineapples. And initially, you're probably looking at this and thinking that these are batiks, but they are not. These are not batiks. They only look like batiks. They are printed. So you've got, the lime and teal. You've got a kind of a bluish teal and a purple pineapple. You've got yellow pineapples and a coral background, and then you have teal on teal. So very cool. I like these. Again, my friend who does the purple pineapple, she's gonna really, really love that. And then you do have, again, these to me, I get why they're part of the floral collection, but they feel like what's the big puffball? It's, I mean, obviously dandelions, right? So you think of the dandelion, you think of that sort of spray of dots. But there's also, I think it's an aster that is that sort of one stalk big puffball on the end of it, sort of flower, and that kind of gives you that with these. And what I like, in instead of them going back to the teal and the light teal, the teal and the light teal, is that they went into this coral colorway. So that's really, really neat as well. We've got 4 of these. They're all using the same pattern here. So it's a 2-color sort of blender with this gorgeous sort of damask looking, print on it. And so you have it in the hot green, you have it in a berry color, you have it in the dark teal, which really adds some drama to this. And oh, yes, thank you, Charlotte. Queen's Anne lace. Thank you, Queen Anne's lace. And then this purple, which again is not very highlighted here throughout this collection, except for in some of the flowers, but you get like a whole chunk of it here in this sort of damask print. So this is a great little collection. And again, I was very excited to, have these in both fat quarters, charms, 5-inch charms, and 2.5-inch charms. And I just think that when you have a variety of color like this, you're able to, pull out what you feel like you need. This is a 16 fabric bundle. So there's a big variety of fabrics in this bundle, and I think the QT, or in this case, also known as Ink and Arrow, they've got some really good fabrics going on released recently, and I've just been kind of excited to see what they're bringing in from their designers. So this is new, just arrived, and it is called Flora, and it's $52. Mariana is here. Hello. How are you tonight? And Charlotte's good to see you as well. Thank you for coming into the store this week. It was great to see you. Okay. And let's take a look at the last fabric bundle. Yes, these bundles are gorgeous. And I feel like what we're seeing is a nice variety. it's one thing to bring in Tula Pink and K Facet, and everybody knows who they are. But it's awesome to have these other things, right? These designers that are, out there taking chances and doing things in different colorways, and that's part of the adventure here. Laura is here. Hello, Laura. How are you doing tonight? Okay, so this is this is a great collection, and I'm glad to hear that, Mariana. You know, um, this week, has been super busy, which I'm not upset with at all. But it's also like I am ready for the weekend. Can I just say I'm ready for the weekend? I want the weekend. Okay, so this next collection is called Wisps on the Wind. And this is another 16-piece fat quarter bundle. This is, again, this is Ink and Arrow. And this collection, as you can see, is kind of a very much in its own color story. And, again, I'm always looking for something different in when we're picking fabrics. And now let me just say, I don't always pick the fabric. The fabric is picked by Charlie, my husband. And he tells me I have the final say. I don't know if that's true. I don't necessarily think I get the last say, but whatever. So let's take a look at this collection because I think you're really going to like this one too. Look at these. Now, I gotta say, this is definitely given me a 50s, 60s, bungalow vibe. Okay. This is giving me that sort of a kind of a masculine colorway. And if I'm not mistaken, this is designed by Steve Butler. So it is designed by a gentleman, which makes sense, right? It's kind of coming out in the fact that it a floral? I guess it's called Wisps on the Wind. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a floral, but it's definitely given me like bungalow vibes, like mid-century modern. Okay, definitely mid-century modern into the 60s era. Okay, just that's kind of what it's given me. And then you've got these sort of puffballs that are also, I guess, wisps. I don't know, but I love them, and I love the repeat of the color story in here. They're just fantastic. Um and then we go into, some actual cattails. Now, again, I'm not upset that there's florals in this collection, but I feel like they're not the kind of florals, they're not this. Okay. I will tell you, we have a really tough time picking fabric that is not that is too floral, because I love these two. These are really great. Um there's a thing in every catalog that we receive, and they just there's too many florals. And I know that sounds like, how can there be too many florals? There is an abundance of florals. Now, I think a lot of people will say that, will florals sell across the board in all the quilt shops, and therefore that's why they sell so great, and that's why they're going to be bringing out more. I don't know. I just feel like at a certain point, you gotta. you gotta help us out here because there's too many florals. And when you go through these catalogs, it's just like seen it, done it. That was in somebody else's catalog. That whole color story was in someone else's color store, collections. So it gets really difficult to kind of look again and look and see what's really truly different about these collections that are being offered to us as quilt shops. So cattails, I know. I kind of dig it because again, they're not florals in that hit you over the head flower way. Okay? They're just a little bit different. So um yeah, these are just fantastic. I love them. Then we go into the geometrics, and you know what? They need it. Okay. The collections need stuff like this in order to balance out the things that you would consider floral. So you have these kind of cool, harsh lines, but then you go into these geometrics, which are very tone on tone, and I I really really dig those. Okay. Again, we've got some circles that sort of play, but they're not, this light color is not a repeat of these two fabrics. It's taking all the colors and just kind of going in with the circles. So, I love a good circle fabric. Um I enjoy working with those too. Okay, so then we've got um some tone on tones that are again a geometric. You've got the little sort of model background, but also a little bit, with the white there, just to kind of give it a little bit of interest, which I love. Again, here we go with the micro circles. Okay, so a little bit different, three different colorways. This would be a great quilt. Okay, this to me, I am seeing mid-century modern quilt all over this. I think that would be fantastic. There's 16 fat quarters in this collection. And I think there's a million ways you can use this. Oh, wait, this is an ombre. That's a surprise to me. That's cool. All right, I'm kind of digging that. Right? It's not a full on repeat of these two. Are these ombres? No, they are not. So that's fun. That's a cool little surprise. I love when I get a little surprise out of it. That's pretty dope. um I also like to make sure all my folds are on the same side. That's just a me thing. And then our last two are going to be these little bitty waves. Again, this one is called Wisps on the Wind. It is designed by Steve Butler, so masculine collection from a gentleman in the industry. I kind of like it. You will not hear me complain one bit about this collection. Take a look at it here on the side. Oops, I gotta flip it. There we go. Take a look at that. That's all 16. I'm telling you, this is a beautiful quilt. You got a gentleman in your life, this is going to be the one. So it's not a floral. It's just got a little bit of that cattail. Little bit of. I still think you're going to find the right guy. This is going to be a great collection. Yeah, Jerry. Good to see you. The waves look pretty cool, and I don't know I've ever seen anything like this before. I agree. Again, we're always on the lookout for fabrics that are not your traditional stuff. And I think that like these last two collections that I showed you, and I'll just pull in the previous one, like look at how different they are. And you've got this and then you've got this, right? And so not everything that we bring in is going to be something that I want to have, that same old color story. And we are always looking for, something that's just a little bit out there, a little bit odd. And um we're always looking for like the collections that somebody would like. Now let's say you have a guy friend in your life and he is into golf. Well, you could add a golf print to this and that would be this would still be a great collection. You could add a fishing element to this. You could add a outdoorsy thing to this. You could add a car thing to this. If you're into mid-century modern furniture or house or whatever, this is right up your alley. So this one, my friend, is called Wisps on the Wind. It's a great collection. Oop, that's Flora's. And $52 for the 16 fat quarter bundle right now in stock on the website. Very exciting. Don't sleep on this. Okay, this is a good one. And I'm very excited about that. Okay, so I've got two more things to show you tonight. And my chair keeps rolling. So like the whole of the building's on a tilt. And so like my chair just slowly goes this way. And so I have to roll myself back. About a year ago, we had a dollhouse panel and it was so popular. Everybody loved it. And here's the thing about these fabric collections. They're typically one and done. You don't get a chance. If you don't buy it, it sells out, it's gone, right? I don't have the ability to get them reprinted because one, that's not how fabric works. And two, they're on to the next collection. They're on to the next designer, they're on to the next thing. And I don't disagree with that. I think that that's a fair way to, always have something new and fresh. And we want that in our store as well. So, like, if the fabrics were just always available all of the time, we would not have that kind of variety going on in the shop. So, I can appreciate that fabrics go out of print and then we get new stuff. Okay. So, in a way, it's like a scarcity model, but not. Okay. Because look, they're going to reprint, some of this to some degree. Like, but a lot of companies, they're not. A lot of these, like these fabric bundles and some of these other panels that we're going to talk about, they're not reprinted. That's once you get that chance to buy it, and if you don't buy it when it comes in, it's gonna be gone. And then you're gonna go, oh, do you still have the whatever? And I'm like, no, it's sold out and it's gone and I can't get any more. I mean it, I can't get any more. So this is why, even though like let's take Mr. Boney for example. Mr. Boney was my top selling panel of all time, and I could have sold probably 20 or 25 more bolts of Mr. Boney. And I called and I said, gosh, are you guys going to do any more of Mr. Boney? I know you did one reprint and thank goodness that you did, but will you do any more? And they said, no. But then they said, you can pay for your own reprint, but you need to take all the whole print run. It was 5,000 yards, my friends. 5,000 yards. So, first of all, that would just, I would have those bolts everywhere. I don't even have enough room for that kind of thing. So, that was problem number 1. And then I was like, well, can't you like get me and a couple other quilt shops together to go in on the order? And they were like, no, we can take the order from one of you and you can split it all up. And I thought about doing that, but then it's like the freight. Oh my gosh, the freight. The freight would kill us alone, not just to bring it in, but then for me to send it back out to all of the shops that would order it from me. So it just turned into a big headache. And I just said, you know what? It's gone. Hopefully they'll make something like it, knowing how popular it was. They kind of don't. They don't really listen. But whatever. In this case, my friends, they kind of listened. They had a very popular panel on their hands, and they decided to do something like it again. And I'm very pleased. So this, my friends, is a panel called Shop Hop. And so let's get this and show you what I mean. So this little panel is a it's like a storybook. Okay, so if you're familiar with the soft storybooks, you'll understand kind of what this is. But this, my friend, is not that. It is a dollhouse that opens up like this, and then the floors, look at that. Okay, so you've got 4 dollhouse sections, but this is not just any house. Let me back it up a little here so you can see the whole thing. This is a mini quilt shop. Okay, so you've got your storefronts here, and there is here is the quilt shop. You have a cutting table here, and it comes with little people. And what you do is you sew around these pieces and you onto felt, and then they stick to the backing. Now, I just finished the storybook, okay, but I haven't finished the pieces and the people. But if you remember this panel from last year, you get the set, you get the idea. Okay, so you've got your little people, and then when they're backed with felt, they stick to the walls. But they also tuck into these little sections so that you have a place to store the pieces. So here's the quilt shop. Here's her little cutting table. Again, there's little tools and like a little rotary cutter and stuff, and then bolts of fabric here on the shop wall. And then she has a classroom, and the classroom has, you know, a shelf. And here is where this is a design wall, and you have your little quilt blocks here, and you can design your little quilt. Then there is a cafe. Look at the little cafe with the menu, and you've got your coffee, and you've got little muffins and stuff. And then you have your table here where you can eat, you know, drink your coffee. And then you have an outdoor space where you have a little bird, and you can relax in the outdoors. And like each section has these little add-ons for you to you know, have like more interactive play. So this little book is adorable. It is called Shop Hop, and it is currently in stock. We I'm just so excited about how it came out. You've got the little um things, and then again the little floors all fold up, and that's how you close the book, and they just like tuck in. Isn't this neat? What a smart idea, right? And you've got these little floors that, and voila. And then all of your little felt pieces stay inside, and it's just so cute. I love this. I love this project. This one, they had one last year that was just a little dollhouse and, or a little house. And this one this year is a little quilt shop. And of course, I had to have it. So you do add a little tie here so that the whole book opens up and you can play. It's just a really neat gift for someone. I think you're going to absolutely love this one. So, if you get a chance, take a look at this one. If you are a big fan of the panels and the panels that do all kinds of things, this, my friends, is it's super super um it's super super cute. Okay. I do have another panel, and I didn't finish making it quite yet. So I do have a picture that I'm importing into here so that you can take a look at it completely finished. But if you get a chance, take a look at this one. This one is called Shop Hop. And can I just say this one here reminds me of my building? Okay. This one here really got me because it's 3 floors and you've got your little shop on the bottom and the house up part on top. So that one reminds me of us. Okay. So the next one, my friends, yes, Christmas is already here. I know you don't want to hear that. Okay, but Christmas fabric is already starting to arrive, and this is a brand new panel by Stacy East Sue, and she is a designer for Moda. And as you know, I love a good doll panel. Okay, but in case you weren't as excited about that, here's what they look like when they're done. Can I just, oh my gosh. Okay. So this one is called Holiday Cheer. And these two dolls are what are on the panel. They're two little reindeer, okay? And you have the lady reindeer and the gentleman reindeer. And yes, he does have like overalls and a bow tie and antlers, which the lady reindeer does not have. Okay. And they are amazingly cute. These are just precious. Um I can't even I can't even. Okay? Like that's kind of how speechless I am over these dolls. Um these, if you've made any of her doll panels in the past, and we've had her doll panels in the store since we've been open. Her doll panels are extremely easy to do. The one thing I will tell you is that when they're all finished with all of their accessories, they look the best. So, as you can see, I've gotten the lady reindeer partially done. I was in a big mad hurry to get her finished. And I just have to say, like, the little details are really cool. Now, all of this is just pinned on right now. I'm still attaching, okay? So, He is wearing the little lederhosen overalls. He's just precious. Okay. Um, so this is also to show you how big they actually are. Okay, so they're not so tiny that you're not gonna get, a decent size out of them. Okay, so they are very they are good size. Okay, um, and we've got, some cool details like the little elastic. So her outfit is removable. She does have like like a little outfit or underwear on. If you have the uh Halloween dolls, the clothing's going to be interchangeable with the witch and the two skeletons. So Kathy, I think you bought this when you came into the store the other day. I think we talked about this. I'm pretty sure you bought these when you were here because I was in the process of cutting them apart. And you said, "Oh, I think I have to have that." Kathy, welcome. How are you today? Hopefully, you're doing well. So, there are two dolls on this panel, and I have not made her accessories yet. She comes with a bag, a little treat bag, and he is carrying a candy cane. So I haven't finished that yet. Her bow is permanently attached to her as a doll. Oh yeah, Kathy did pick these up while she was here. So I'm just saying that this doll is amazing. Okay. This set of dolls, because you get two on the panel plus all their accessories. She's got the cutest little shoe, okay, the built in, and then the dress is completely separate. So you actually make the little outfit and put it on her. And then for the gentleman, you do make his outfit separate. And except for his shirt is built into the doll. Okay, so that striped shirt is built onto him. But his Jerry said his lederhosen and his bow tie are separate, and then you can see he comes with a candy cane. This adorable set is not gonna last long in the shop. If you want one, you are going to have to order it right away. These are not going to last, and I already know I cannot get more. So that's the thing. I try to order, what do I call it? Conservatively, but also trying to get like have good stock levels on these things. But and then I get them in and I go, oh man, I should have ordered double, I should have ordered triple. This is going to be one of those. You're going to want this one right away. So do not as the kids say, sleep on this collection, on this particular doll panel, because it is not going to stay in stock. There is a whole page of panels. You can get those panels on our website. And now's a great time to go through the panels because, you never know when a good holiday, you need a panel to work on in the middle of all of your other projects. It's too cute. Okay, it's too stinking cute. So yeah, it says girl deer on the panel. But yeah, she needs a good name. um so we've got, a girl reindeer and a boy reindeer, and I love that the boy has the antlers. I just think that's just stinking cute. So, if you haven't thought about these yet, now's a good time. Kathy already picked hers up, so you don't have to compete with her. But these are going to be a good addition. Again, I'm in love with the kinds of panels we're bringing in. I do wish that these companies would make, like, just give me all the panels. I will just go panel crazy. I love a good doll panel. They're great for teaching people how to sew because you just cut them, put them together, and sew around the edges. So if you're a new or a novice, they're easy to follow the directions. We have some great panels in right now. And we're going to have more throughout the year. So that panel page is going to be something you want to kind of keep an eye on, because they're always good sellers for us in the store. And that's what's coming new right now. In the next week or so, we're going to see more Christmas. um I know you're not thinking of Christmas, okay? But you're going to want this Christmas one, okay? Um and we do have a collection of Christmas panels coming in that you're going to want each and every one of. So, just saying, just putting that out there. You're going to want to pay attention, because when these Christmas panels hit, they're going to be flying right back out the door. My friends, that's what I have for you tonight. Again, if you're part of downtown's got a lot going on tonight. All summer long, the downtown Paducah is doing Friday nights at 5. So if you're in town, come on down, participate downtown. We've got live music, vendors, all kinds of fun stuff. I think you're going to have a great time. I think, why not come on out, check it. Would be cute. Applique on a sweatshirt, front and back. Right? That would be adorable. That would be adorable. They're just precious projects. And I have to say that Stacy Iestsu, who is the designer, has been designing for Moda for years. Her collections are just, her doll panels are like chef's kiss. They're so good. And we've been carrying them for the 4 years that we've been open. So I know you're going to want these, so make sure you check them out. Like I said, downtown, we got a lot going on. All summer long, every Friday night. So be sure to check out, if you're coming to Paducah, check out the stuff that's going on downtown, because we got quite a bit. Our next Cars and Guitars is at some point in June, so we're gonna be we'll mention that on our page. And again, my friends, those of you who have come into the store lately, thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't, sign up for our email list. We got new stuff going out all the time. But if you're part of our secret thread quarters, our patterns page, that secret page has new patterns on it. So you're going to want to check that out. But you got to be on our newsletter to get the password. So there is that. My friends, I'm going to go. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, and I hope you get some sewing done. Take care. I will see all of you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.